Hello and welcome to the Overwatch Oasis League. We are continuing our Tier 3 quarterfinals, and at this end of the bracket we have Prodigy Noobs facing off against Cosmic Omnics. Joining me at the desk today is Lee Ratty. How you doing, man?
I'm very good, sir. How are you?
I am a little chilly, if I'm being honest.
Chilly in Australia?
It's not the warmest right now. It's around 20-ish degrees. But I also, sorry Americans in chat, it's centigrade, but I also run really cold when I sleep, and I woke up, I want to say like 15-20 minutes ago, so I'm still, haven't had any food yet. But not quite the point, as Prodigy Noobs are taking on Cosmic Omnics right now, the 3rd seed, facing off against the 6th seed here. Of course, both these teams bumped up one after White Walkers were deemed ineligible to participate in playoffs. Now, that fallout has led to both of these teams picking up some new players. Prodigy Noobs, I believe, picked up Skyzord. So lots of Symmetra and Far going to be available. Not sure if I see them in the lobby at the time being, so they may not be making an appearance. And instead of Cosmic Omnics picking up Kron, who looks like they'll be starting on support this map. Kron, of course, a flex support player that can also play some Mercy and Break as well. And from everything I've seen, really good bang for your buck. Really good value. I believe they come in as a 7. But the very high level gameplay that's able to justify that number very well. We do have our starting lineups now as we're headed into Lijiang. On the side of Cosmic Omnics, we have Kitty and Twisted Pork on the tank line, Tenchi and Crossfire on the DPS line, and trying to keep them all alive will be Disco and Kron. And on the side of Project Noobs, we are starting with Kajuli and Zoomsberry on the tank line, Cable and Rusha Rose looking to get in those gold damage medals, and Cloud Lemon and Stel Bell very concerned and very scared, trying to keep everybody from dying. Lee, first map Lijiang. How are we feeling about this?
I'm excited. I'm very excited about this map. I do love Lijiang. And just for future reference, Charles, it's pronounced Eli.
Ah.
Because he does have a fit if you don't pronounce his name right.
Okay.
So yeah. I've got
I'm sorry. I'm reading all these names and I can't figure out which one is supposed to be pronounced Eli.
Kai, top one, tank player.
So the whole thing is supposed to be Kaiju Eli?
Yeah.
Oh. Well then.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for pointing that out. I'll figure that out.
We can just call him Eli.
Yeah. I'll get used to it. Y'all got some wild names. Y'all got some wild names that are like intentionally difficult to pronounce, and then I get flack for not being able to pronounce them. Hello? My name is Charles. My name is Charles. I just, nice and easy. I just keep it simple, folks. That's all I'm asking. But yeah, going on to Lijiang, a control favorite of everybody, and a map that allows for a lot of different playstyles to thrive and flourish. We see a lot of dive being viable, brawl is viable. Recently, double bubble has worked out here a lot as well. Double shield, not as much, but if you're fast enough on your toes with a sim TP, you might be able to get yourself set up in a nice little corner on a night market. So let's see what these teams decide to roll out on. Just waiting for some readies to come out, especially I believe the staff here are desperately scrambling for a party sitter to get here.
We've got one. Chaotic Phoenix is going to party sit for Prodigy. Also, thank you, Alwash. It's Kaiju Eli. That's how his name is pronounced.
Thank you, Alwash. What I'd like to hear from chat. Let's hear some predictions. Let's see what everybody's thinking. These two teams not that far apart in the regular season. Like I said, the 3rd and the 6th seed coming to play. So a lot of different things could happen here.
So we've got readies from both teams, so let's start map 1.
Now arriving at Lijiang.
Of course, the last time these teams played each other, it was a 3-1 win in Week 13 for Prodigy Noobs. Boss and Rusha were our MVPs, as well as Crossfire. Let me gotta go check my competitive rulings. Is Boss one of the people that are no longer eligible to play?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so some firepower missing here for Prodigy Noobs, as one of their players. Well, they're no longer here. We'll just leave it at that. Stitches and Boss are both in chat. Alwash, Mo Black, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Map 1 headed to Lijiang. It is going to be Control Center. Just waiting to see what these teams roll out on. Lots of Junkrat, lots of Sim here, lots of Brawl, lots of AoE damage. This could be a bit of a brawly mess, as both teams have locked the Zarya and, of course, the Lucios. Cloud on the Lucio. Not something we haven't seen before, of course, last season when he dominated the season along with White Walkers, very much a flex support player, but now moving on to the Lucio role has looked very comfortable all through this season as well.
Twisted Pork was trolling me then. I honestly thought they were going in the Roadhogs area.
There's no way you actually believed it, Lee.
What's the name?
If you
Twisted
believe
Pork?
that, I'd like to inform you that the word gullible is painted on your ceiling as well.
Twisted Pork though, bro.
Fair. Now, Crossfire is going to be on the Doomfist, sorry, after TPing their team out. That was kind of a messy TP from Cosmic Omnics, so they get to the point late. And oh no, Disco just a little bit late with that Immortality kill. Twisted Fork is going to be the first one out of the fight now. Cosmic Omnics without a main tank and without the Doomfist is going to struggle to make their presence known on point. And our set back Prodigy Noobs are going to be able to lock down first control here in the Overwatch Oasis League.
Rusha Rose on that Torbjorn there.
Yeah, Rusha on the Torb is going to be interesting and make it really difficult for any flankers to get any work done. And just to say that, we see Crossfire switching over onto that Junkrat. Kitty already halfway on the way to a grab, and her not dying means that she's basically able to keep pace with Zoomsbury on ult charge. Then Tenchi catching a cable could be an enormous picture. Zoomsbury catching a flashbang to the face as well as being deleted. And without investing any ultimates, it's like Cosmic Omnics have established a 6-4 lead here. On the point, excuse me, Cloud trying to solve everything out, but that's going to be too little too late. A very swift and frictionless retake here on the side of Cosmic Omnics. Just kind of walked under the point and got the picks, didn't even need to use any ultimates.
Kind of neck and neck on ultimates at the moment.
Alright, Window being committed here, and of course the classic Window 5-star combo is to catch out Cloud Lemon here, and the Moira of Stelbell is just hiding and eventually does manage to fade out to safety. Cosmic Omnics doing great to be able to cap these points and to win these fights without big ultimate investments here.
Yeah, just the window was used there, Charles. Just secure that with the Rhine fire strike onto Cloud.
And now coming on to 5 check marks here on the side of Cosmic Omnics, but 6 blue ones lighting up the feed here on the side of Prodigy Noobs. Going to be a bit of a triangle party here. The grab should be coming up pretty early alongside that, those rip tires. The mortality fields are absolutely crucial. The shadow is going to come down. Is the feed invested? Yes, it is. Kron managed to land that before anybody goes down. Molten Core all over the point as both these teams are man down until Crossfire is going to clean that up with a double kill. And once again, we see Prodigy Noobs being sent packing. Eli is going to finish up with the next pick onto Crown, but right after he's going to get taken down with a Crossfire melee kill. You know what's a little ridiculously? That every hero does the same melee damage. That a baby diva and a Zarya, right? Like a 5'1", a 4'11", small Korean gamer, and the strongest woman in the world punch the same. But that's not the point. As the Earth Shatter comes down, not fighting anybody. The grab there countered very, very well by Disco's Immortality Field, but Crossfire is out of the fight. A lot of burst and spam damage is going to get cleaned up here. Prodigy Noobs have to win here to stay in this point, and they do. A very, very swift take and clean up, but they do end up expending a lot of their resources here. All they have is that Earth Shatter to work on, as the Cosmic Omnics are now coming back, hopefully without wind. Oh my goodness! Very, very early Shatter, super aggressive here, and is going to help Cable get 20-30% ult charge there. Very decisive plays by Eli and Prodigy Noobs here, and it has paid off handsomely.
I was going to say, Twisted Pork Shatter did get like 3 people, because he shattered from behind.
Well, Crossfire here coming with a tire from behind now as well. Straight into a bubble. Zoomsbury, very, very good reflexes to keep Cloud alive here, who is solo zoning off this left flank here. Not quite sure if that's Lucio's job, and eventually does return to their team. Coalescence is going to be committed here. We're getting closer and closer to the last fight territory as a very early immortality field by Disco doesn't get any value there. And oh no, Cable's on a tear. Tenshi gets taken down. Cable now has the tire ready to go, and KO needs to lose and lose fast now.
The Junkrat's on the flank, ready for the touch.
The Junkrat's always on the flank. Nothing's new. This is tier 3 in the Overwatch Oasis League. Twisted Pork coming in extremely aggressively. Shatter's only going to find one, but Twisted Pork is going to get taken down very nice and early. Cloud with the late beat, unable to save Cable. Both these teams having 4 players still in play. The touch has been initiated. The Shatter comes down, fighting 2. Kitty and Disco on the ground here, getting chunked down. Not that very low as the healing is there. Tenshi is going to get taken out. Both grabs are going to come out. One catches 4, one catches 1, and none of them is going to yield any kills for the time being. Zoomsbury alone on the point, taking a lot of pressure as Twisted Pork rolling around, coming back so quickly and straight into a trap. Very, very crucial bubble and an even bigger immortality for Disco and Kitty. A team effort to keep Twisted Pork alive for just a little longer, but it is going to tick down. Crossfire looks like they tagged the point there. Not quite sure how OT did not continue, but Prodigy Noobs are going to walk away, leading the series 1-0.
That was a brilliant first map.
Ready for battle.
Lee, thoughts so far, other than this was a good first map?
Yeah, there has been times when both teams have used their ults well, and then there's been times when they've all just dumped ults.
And now we see Cable and Tenshi both on the Symmetra, looking for that TP into the window. Crossfire playing the signature Pharah without the signature Mercy pocket. Could be interesting here as Kron has elected to stay on that Lucio. Not quite sure what the Lucio accomplishes in this comp, but I am ready for a bit of a lesson here. But the only education I'm getting is one of how to delete mortars, as Disco is going to get sent back to spawn nice and early on Prodigy News, playing a very standard TP brawl style. The hybrid dive here with the Lucio and the Symmetra TP. Not quite sure. Bit of a composition diff here, Lee.
There was similar comps, but like,
I mean, there was no Reinhardt, there was no Mercy, there was no Brawl on point. It was a Pharah. I don't know if those were similar comps. It's just not. Yeah, they're gonna stick with this tank line, and this Twisted Pork isn't that far away from the minefield. But once again, not quite sure how they're gonna be able to open this up. Crossfire without a pocket here is going to get limited impact, but Cable is going to get taken out by some spam damage alongside just a quick wrecking ball roll through the Coalescence, is not going to be committed to immortality, but once again not finding too much value. Crossfire coming over onto the flank with a very aggressive barrage kill, and is going to get punished for that. The Earth Shatter is going to come out, not finding anybody. It looks like after a very messy melee, Prodigy Noobs are going to be able to survive this. I mean, nobody shot the TP. The TP is still up, so they're able to get back to the fight very, very quickly.
yeah. And also only 2 ults used there from Prodigy, with the Shatter and the Coalescence.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So very, very healthy ult bank coming online here for Prodigy Noobs. Like you said, 4 ultimates coming online as Zoomsbury isn't that far from the grab either. Looks like Cosmic Omnics are going to commit to the ball Zarya, as it looks like Twisted Pork might have fallen off the side of the map. Oh, eventually does find themselves back into safety, trying to desperately fend off Cloud's boops here. And they're just kind of waiting for the ball to engage. But, oh, no. Ay, ay, ay. The engage came through, and Cloud is there with the boop. The hook cooldown wasn't there. And that's some free ult charge for that Lucio. Rusha with a very, very good Death Blossom as well. I don't know if KO are going to be able to touch you. It's just Crossfire with 1 health on that Junkrat. Eventually, Twisted Pork is going to roll through, but zooms with the grab, Cloud with the key. I don't know if there's much that can be accomplished here. The Deadeye is going to be cleaned by Tenshi, finding out Rusha Rose, and the grab rage is going to prevent anybody else from touching. Prodigy Noobs are going to get this point and secure the map. They lead 1-0 here in the quarterfinals of the Overwatch Oasis League.
A very dominating second map there by Prodigy.
Play of the game.
Yeah, just kind of, I mean, not to take away anything from how Prodigy Noobs plays, but Cosmic Omnics with a very unconventional, a little bit of a creative comp here, and the tank line of the Ball Zarya is not the wildest thing, but pairing it with a Lucio Moira as well as a Symmetra, I think was a little bizarre in my humble, hard-stuck plat opinion. Yeah, it's that I don't know if your brain is a little bigger than mine, Lee, but I still can't really figure this out.
I personally think they should have changed the ball. Like, you've got to kind of... It wasn't really making enough space for the team to go in.
Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, in a perfect world against the right compositions and played the right way, a Wrecking Ball is just going to disrupt the defending team from their little bunkers and defensive setups, but that just wasn't happening for Twisted Pork, who
I think
does
he was
have the
going in
mechanics
too
to play a
soon.
good Wrecking Ball, but was just running against, you know, a Symmetra and a Reinhardt with the Fortify, or sorry, a Reinhardt with a Steadfast passive ability, and running into Cloud's really good and timely boops, running against the burst damage of Rusha on the Reaper there. Just, there are a lot of factors working against a Wrecking Ball being able to get a lot done, and all of those factors, I mean, yeah, Prodigy Noobs were able to take advantage of all of those factors. So Cosmic Omnics running into a little bit of trouble here. It just felt like they were kind of taking a baseball bat against a brick wall. Swinging as hard as they can, but at the end of the day, that's a brick wall. You got to shake up your toolkit a little bit.
So, next map is going to be Blizzard World. We see a lot of Blizzard Worlds.
Blizzard World here, speaking of team compositions, might just be one that actually sees the Ball Zarya become viable. The far as well could be. Okay, yeah, Cosmic Omnics, what they ran in the last round, actually perfectly viable for Blizzard World. So maybe... Hey, maybe they were just warming up. Maybe they knew they were going to clap on Blizzard World and just wanted to secure the dub here. So hoping for big things ahead for Cosmic Omnics as we now wait for some substitutions to come in. Remember, after the map pick, teams have 12 minutes to decide lineups and get ready. So we do move a little bit slower here in playoffs, chat. So just bear with us as Lee is just going to struggle to get all the spectators swapped if and when that's necessary.
Prodigy
Chat, what are
Noobs
your thoughts so far?
Prodigy Noobs are going to defend first.
Okay, thank you. Chat, what are your thoughts so far? Tell me how we're feeling about this. Tell me how we're feeling about that KO lineup. Alright, looks like the reverse Dota wall is coming out here. Nobody answering my question, but Killswitch Ranch just joined us as well. Prodigy are killing it. Like I said, Cosmic Omnics might have spilled their spaghetti just a little bit there, but it takes a good team to be able to capitalize on those errors, and Prodigy and Noobs definitely did that. Don't forget though, Cosmic Omnics played them extremely close on Control Center, so don't let a bad map of Night Market throw you off there, Lee. Cosmic Omnics did come to party, and I believe in their ability to bring the heat.
Oh yeah, I've played against Cosmic Omnics before, and they're definitely a tough matchup.
Yeah, they're not here to muck about. Cosmic Omnics have hopes to make it into the semifinals, and I know that internally they do believe that Prodigy Noobs are a challenge, but not an insurmountable one. And they feel that on their best day that they do have a pretty solid chance of beating them. So I can see where the confidence comes from. That's definitely not misplaced, especially after, you know, if they can play and continue to match Prodigy Noobs on Brawl the way they did on Control Center. That is definitely not out of the question. But statistically speaking, that is the higher seeded team. So Prodigy Noobs do have the upper hand here. This is a 3rd versus 6th seed matchup here in the Overwatch Oasis League quarterfinals.
So, do you have any predictions for what we might see in this map, Charles?
I have predictions of what I think should be run, but as we saw from that last map, that absolutely means nothing. I think double bubble is really good here on first point. Helps secure that high ground, helps get those pesky hit scans out of the way, and helps close those long sight lines as quickly as one could reasonably expect a tank line to close. Reflex in chat. Not going to confirm or deny what you said, but yes, there was some malding happening on my end. Yeah, no, really like double bubble, really like the dive, but a lot of teams in tier 3, as we saw even just 2 days ago, as Stardust Crusaders play Tater Tots, like to play the Brawl here. Like to take a very quick rotation and then switch the map around, walk over towards the defender spot and push from that end. And on the bright side, that's, you know, that's cute and gives you something to commentate and is a good strat. On the bad side though, the flip side of this coin, it's a pretty time-consuming rotation to make. Once you get there, you've already burnt a full minute off the clock, and it's Brawl, so the fights take forever, and so you're investing a lot of time into a fight you might not win. And with all that time, you probably could have taken 2 vanilla pushes down main there. So it's a bit of a give and take. There's definitely a pro-con list to be assessed here that these teams need to be looking out for. Lineups have come out. Looks like it's going to be Tenchi and Kitty on the tank line. Syndicate and Cross on the DPS lineup, as Disco and Kron is going to remain on that support line. And on the side of Prodigy Noobs, Mexi is going to come in to partner Zooms. Eli switching down to DPS now to pair with Ares, and Cloud Lemon will be paired up with KDB. So still no sign of the new signing Sky Zord here on the side of Prodigy Noobs, but no Sky, no problem here as they're leading the series 1-0. And from everything I've seen, it looks like Prodigy Noobs have a Symmetra player already. So, yeah, not missing too much firepower here. In Kosmic Omnics, new signing Kron is getting along pretty well. We're seeing a pretty good display here on the Lucio, and hoping that they're going to get to show that flex support prowess here. From my time with Kron, I can say that Bap, Zen, and Brig is some of their signature heroes.
With little Ares, you could see some Echo, some May, some Sim.
Some of the flyers, yeah.
Some of the flyers, yeah. I don't think he plays Farah, but I definitely know they play Sim, May, and Symmetra. Sim, May, and Echo. Sorry. I think this is KTB's debut as well.
Oh, really?
I think.
Well, welcome, sure KDB.
Not sure if
I hope you clap some cheeks.
Yeah, it would be.
Alright, just waiting for the readies to come through. Both teams just taking their time here.
Taking their 12 minutes.
Yeah, hey, listen, they do have 12 minutes, but I would like to not use all 12 of those minutes. It's 11:30 a.m. I haven't had any food today, and I'm just here desperately tap dancing to fill time.
It's 2:30 a.m.
Yeah. Lee and I got places to be. Who let these non-Americans come and do this NA game? This is not okay. Lee, you know what's hilarious since I've moved here to Australia? People always guess if I'm Canadian based on my accent, because they don't want to like be like, because it's a little insulting to be like, oh, are you an American? Like, they don't, because just that's the vibe America gives out, is that it would be pretty rude to assume someone is American, but way more polite to assume I'm Canadian. So Americans in chat, hey, do with that information what you will. Speaking of Canadians, Kron is here today, so we do have some up north representation. But yeah, no, just a bit of a time zone dip here as we finally are able to get started, headed into Blizzard World. Like we said, Lee, hoping to see some dive here, but we're probably gonna see some brawl again, aren't we?
Well, Mexi's known for his Reinhardt. I've not seen much of Tenchi on tank before. So
Maybe we'll do hero pools. We'll do hero lockouts in the Overwatch Oasis League next season. We'll just go no Junkrat the entire season.
Maybe we could
and
do
we'll
mystery
just see
heroes.
which teams crumble. All mystery heroes Overwatch Oasis League is pretty good. I enjoy a Total Mayhem Overwatch Oasis League as well. Alright, hello, take me back to May 2020 because it looks like the double barrier is coming out on Blizzard World. It's been a hot second since we've seen this variation of double barrier. It's come back over the past month or so, but since the Orisa pole nerfs, a lot of people have been kind of defaulting over to that Rhine Sigma double barrier, so it's always fun to watch this throwback comp come out. Ares on the Torbjorn, as Cloud is now over onto that signature BAP. Kron is going to continue to remain on the Lucio, as we're going to see a very, very classic dive. This is some season 1, this is some 2016 dive.
Just missing the Zen instead of the Ana.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if I'm being honest, just from a personal level, I might prefer the Zen over the Lucio here, given I don't know how much the speed boost is going to accomplish, unless you have a, like, incredibly mechanically gifted Reddit Lucio that can move as well as a monkey. I think that Lucio might struggle to get a lot of value. Zenyatta's Discord Orb could be the play here instead, but hey, what do I know? That's why I'm sitting in the booth instead of out there on the field. Alright, the full rotation has come out. Interestingly enough, it looks like Cosmic Omnics has gone with a brawl rotation with a dive composition, but they do secure this high ground. They're not dropped to brawl on the point. This is not a they dive the tank line, which is once again the dictionary definition of brawl. So I'm going to be curious to see how this plays out, and eventually we do dive towards the back line. Mexi is going to be the first to fall as the mercy of KDB is going to be pestered by Tenchi's Tickle Cannon until they are eventually sent back to spawn as well. Zoonsberry desperately trying to hold on with those hands, trying to eat as much damage as possible. That's going to be too little too late. Cosmic Omnics playing brawl with dive heroes, and it is going to work out. So who am I to criticize that? Really good work, really clean rotation here, and when the dive came out, a very good collapse onto that Orisa as Mexi now switches over to that Reinhardt. They're matching the dive with the brawl. This is going to be fascinating to watch play out. No defensive ultimates here. Little Ares maybe should be able to get the Molten Core online before Syndicate Slayer has that Nano Blade ready to go. Alright, big dive into coming onto that backline. Really good job from Tenchi. Exactly what I was hoping to see here. As the Primal Rage is going to come out. Just kind of chucking everybody around, not going in a specific direction, just trying to disrupt everyone. And that means that that window is not going to find any value. The window came out and Tenchi just smacked everybody away from it. That's exactly what you want to see from your Primal Rages. I mean, yeah, the juggle kills off the map are super sexily, but ultimately it's about disrupting the enemy and making sure they don't get any value out of their abilities.
Yeah, definitely. Did you see the nanoed Lucio?
I did not see the Nano Lucio, but thank you so much for letting me know.
The old boostia.
Alright, Deadeye is going to come in here on the side of Eli, but the Matrix comes out just in time. But Crossfire is going to get taken now. That Tracer kind of difficult to get value out of against Torbjorn. Kitty is going to get D-mexed again, and hoping to get that remech kill as soon as possible. Things were looking tough there. Tenchi and Kitty both went down, or Kitty was out of mech at the very least. And KO would just, they keep getting staggered here. They lost their tank line and they weren't able to cleanly disengage, and now Syndicate getting plopped in the head there is going to have to reset as well. On the bright side, all this stalling means that Disco has another nano boost online.
Ready for that nano blade.
Yeah, let's some POV Nano Blade here. Lee, we're gonna commentate some big plays. Big Dynamite is going to force them off that high ground. Syndicate Slayer jostling for position here, trying to get set up and hoping that the Nano Boost does not connect with the Lucio this time. Alright, Kitty's going to commit that Diva Bomb into that side room, interestingly enough. Not quite sure what that's about. Syndicate Slayer is going to take down Eli with a dash. They might not even need the Nano Blade here. But the Molten Core from Prodigy Noobs is absolutely enormous. The tanks are taken out of commission yet again. And it looks like KO are going to be forced backwards. Somebody in chat mentioned this earlier. KO need to play faster, and I agree. I think they're just taking their time there, and I think a Nano Blade being popped right there could have been absolutely enormous. On the bright side, though, they do get rid of the Molten Core. The only, well, not the only, one of the key abilities that Prodigy Noobs have in their arsenal to be able to deny that Nano Blade from being absolutely devastating. They do, of course, have that Immortality Field, but that is easily taken out. I think they might just try to counter it with the grab. Nano Blade is going to come out. I hope the POV is online as well. Hacking, slashing, and dicing away in that backline. KDB is going to do the first one down, but Mexi joins them like Mentor, like Squire, as Syndicate Slayer opens up with a quadruple kill. Exactly what you needed here from that Genji. 2 ultimates being invested and a pretty straightforward win here. I'm surprised Zoomsbury did not try to grab their way out of trouble there.
I would have tried the grab.
Well, Syndicate Slayer on a bit of a tear here. The grab is going to come out finally. Do they have the shielding to cope with it? Kind of. Syndicate Slayer is going to go down, but Kitty had both bubbles up, I believe, so the tanks are able to remain in this fight, and they're continuing to push the card forward and to push Prodigy Noobs back towards their spot. Cosmic Omnics here, after a pretty rough end of Li Jiang, have looked very, very clean now all through the streets phase over the past 90 seconds or so.
Yeah, Tenshi is doing a lot of work on that Winston.
Alright, Mexi here with a big shatter. Absolutely phenomenal sleep dart coming out from Disco here to halt their progress. Kron being taken out along the Syndicate and Tenshi as well as the rally committed as well. Not quite sure if that was necessary on the side of KDB, but better safe than sorry in these scenarios. The worst thing you want here is a steamroll, and of course you have Cloud's window up to be able to keep everybody alive.
There's a McCree in their back line. Crossfire. He's right on the stairs by their spawn.
Alright, Crossfire is just going to hide here. The beat to counter the window is interesting. The Deadeye comes out, they don't know where it is. They have no idea where it is. KDB turns him on, but it's too little too late. Crossfire finds a double kill. And now Tenshi and Kitty are running rampant on this front line. KDB desperately swinging away, trying to stay alive here. The friendly bubble there is going to prolong the inevitable, but KDB is eventually going to be taken down. And Eli, just manages to dodge the pin there with a combat roll, but the flashbang doesn't connect thanks to a really, really good bubble from Kitty. But Tenshi goes in too deep. Oh no, that's the worst time to overextend. You had the momentum on your hand, but all of a sudden you're playing without your main tank, and Cosmic Omnics are going to have to give all that progress up.
I've seen Crossfire have like 4 different heroes so far. He started off on the
Crossfire
Tracer.
on that Doomfist not swapping, going to elect to stay here. Having to deal with a flashbang, a Made Freeze, and a shield bash, though, is going to be pretty brutal for Doomfist to be able to keep up. The grab's going to come out. The grab plate is going to commit it here. Somebody shoot that Immortality Field, please. It is going to be taken out eventually, but that's too late, as Syndicate Slayer already had to finish using that blade there. That Immortality Field by Cloud. I mean, super necessary, but definitely in an easily destroyable position. And Cosmic Omnics there didn't do the best to be able to set themselves up for success. And it looked like Disco didn't quite have that Nano online either, so no Nano Blade, but the Nano Ryan could be absolutely enormous. Yep, Nano's going to come out of the Ryan, eats a flashbang to the face, and it's going to be a wall rock from the action as well. Earthjetta coming through, fighting forward. That is going to be it shortly, as Cloud is the only one remaining on point. KDB with a desperation rally, giving Cloud around 20 points of armor, as the window is coming out as well. Now it's just going to be full stall territory here, as 3 on cart, pushing it to the end. Can anybody touch here? Wrecking Ball is going to get booped away by Kron. Managed to tag on right at the end with just no health remaining here. But Mexi, somebody look at the ball. The ball's one, no healing. There we go. Finally, about time. The Focus Fire does come through eventually, and Crossfire is going to be to punch out a bunch of enemies here, especially Zoomsbury on the Baby Diva, and they managed to cap an OT.
3. Switching sides.
Lee, your thoughts so far?
It's been a good fight. Like Cosmic Omnics looked dominant down Street's phase, and they looked really good taking the first point. And then Prodigy noobs proper put up a fight on the last point.
Yeah, chat saying that was a lot closer than that needed to be, and I think that's absolutely fair enough. I think Prodigy noobs, once they got into castle phase, kind of got it back together, but Cosmic Omnics are just still, with the ult management, just a little bit of a struggle here. When it works out well, it's really well. We've seen them win fights just off of a singular grab or a singular window, but sometimes they're held onto for a really long time, and Prodigy noobs are able to reset their ult cycles. Lee, it looks like a standard Lee, the double bubble double flyers going to come out for Prodigy noobs here.
Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
I apologise as well if my camera skills ain't the best. I'm a bit heavy thumbed.
It's okay. That's how we practice. That's why one of us nerds put a camera guide up in the in stream team that I'm sure we all looked at. Alright, so it looks like Prodigy noobs have been able to secure the high ground here, and all the spam damage from all these crazy angles are going to force them back. Crossfire in a bit of trouble here. Playing that bunker solo can't be too nice. KDB left out by themselves on the Mercy finally is going to be able to find a home. This is looking pretty good for Prodigy noobs. I feel pretty good about this lineup until, oh no! Oh, the whole point of this composition is to play your distance and to play far and to get the spam in, but it looks like noobs missed that memo here, running straight into double barrier, straight into all that CC and AoE damage, and Eli is going to read that memo and switch over onto that McCree. Mexi is going to stay on the Monkey though, so Eli just there to provide some mid-range hit scan to keep Crossfire's angles in check, I believe. Alright, Mexi with a very aggressive dive onto that tank line of all places. Okay, Ares with the dupe onto the Echo is going to get deleted immediately. Okay, so big Bionade is going to get splashed onto the block down by Cloud here, but the Immortality Field is there to keep everybody alive. The Nano Boost comes out onto Eli. We're definitely seeing some Overwatch League play here. Nano, Carpe for easy wins, but not today, son. Zoomsbury is going to get an exit pick, but it looks like KO are going to be able to hang on to this. So, Lee, not for the first time today, we see a team elect to go for a dive-orientated style, clearly still trying to execute it like it's Brawl. The dive, on the first fight, we saw the front lines collapse onto each other, and everybody play all over the point rather than set up angles and set up spam. And on the second fight, we saw the dive come out directly onto that tank line. Your target focus is so different when you play dive. I'm just not quite sure what's going on here. I don't know if these teams haven't had a chance to practice it or just are fundamentally misunderstanding how dive works, but a bit of a struggle bus there. Now finally switching over onto the Brawl, they're very much far behind on ult advantage and ult economy now, especially with brawling the attack. Ryan Zarya Brawl with no Lucio could be absolutely brutal here on the side of the noobs. Alright, Tire Command is going to take Cloud out. Eli not finding anyone except for their own spawn room with that Deadeye is going to be pretty brutal. The Resurrection coming out onto Cloud as well. Cosmic Omnics are on the up and up here as they're just going to invest the Coalescence to clean this up as well. Not quite sure if that was super necessary, but better safe than sorry. You only have a minute remaining anyways, and you have a very, very big combo coming up in the form of Kitty's Flux with Slayer's Death Blossom here as Crossfire now switches over. Chat. Crossfire switches over onto that Bastion.
Cosmic Omnics has still got two really big ults as well.
Alright, Flux is going to come out here, catches two. Oh, not just only catches two straight into Crossfire's LOS here, who gets in so much damage. already a third of their way to that ultimate. Completely uncontested on this high ground, but the Echo is going to come out. 2 Reinhardts on the point here on the side of Prodigy Noobs, but it still looks pretty winnable on the side of Cosmic Omnics as long as Kitty is able to stay alive, which, oh no, it's a flashbang to the face and interrupt those hands. It's going to be pretty brutal. Is the Bastion still in the fight? Yes, it is. So Tenchi, you're desperately trying to hold on and shield everybody away. If nobody touches here, these are going to do some pretty brutal stagger. Syndicate Slayer now with the Blossom, and we see the Tangle Beam come out. The DPS are going to clutch it out. I don't believe it. 3 kills coming out from these 2 players. Disco joining in the fun as well, and it's DPS diff being asserted here. Cosmic Omnics full hold the Noobs, and the series is now tied up 1-1 here in the Overwatch Oasis League. Wow, what a sequence of events there for those last 60 seconds of gameplay, Lee.
Wow, literally, the dive wasn't executed well enough from Prodigy. Maybe took too long on it as well, and then it was just a matter of the DPS staying alive.
I mean, hey, listen. Both teams taking turns spilling their spaghetti to give us a close series and good entertainment is fair enough. You gotta throw for some content to drive the viewership up to get those ratings high. Perfectly balanced as all things should be, as both these teams just spending a map each completely misreading how to play the composition that they selected, Lee.
Sorry, what was that? I was
No worries, I can carry this. Both these teams just spending a lot of time misreading what they were trying to play here. On more than one occasion, we just saw some very convoluted compositions. Like I said, on map 1, Cosmic Omnics played a Zarya Ball alongside a Symmetra Pharah with no Mercy Pocket. And then we saw Prodigy News come out with a very standard double bubble, double flyer, Mercy Ana comp. You damage boost those flyers, you bubble your monkey, and you get that nano up. And instead, Prodigy Noobs walk straight onto point, straight into that Reinhardt, straight into the Sigma, straight into those rocks and those hammers, and it just can't for the life of me. If that's how you want to play, that is totally fine, but then why would you play that comp? And what in the world are you doing playing double flyer if you're just going to rush and play on point? Right, at that point, just play Junkrat. I just don't quite understand. Maybe it's some nerves. Maybe Cosmic Omnics happen to pick a map that Prodigy Noobs haven't really studied, rehearsed, and practiced that much. Hoping for some big things on map 3. That's kind of all I can say here, Lee.
I probably would have stuck with the Pharah a little bit longer. Like, the Pharah died and then switched. It'd be interesting to see what they both pick on the 2 CP maps.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this coordination and ult management ends up carrying over to 2CP. Of course, famously messy and requiring a lot of good execution on the side of the attacking team to get point B captured. Chat, how are we feeling so far? The series is tied up 1-1. Prodigy Noobs and Cosmic Omnics matching each other blow for blow. The highs are very high here, but the lows are equally low as well. Let's hear some thoughts, some predictions, thoughts, comments, concerns, jokes, threats. I'm open to them all. Constructive criticism, call me ugly. Whatever you got, chat, I am down to hear it. Yeah, Reflex, that's fair enough. That was a bit of a comp diff that Prodigy Noobs were unable to capitalize on. Listen, like I said, as soon as they came out on the double bubble, you heard me, I was super excited. And I kind of predicted just a very, very quick capture. I didn't quite. I was like, Cosmic Omnics don't have any of the tools they need here to deal with this. But shows you what I know. The bit of a comp diff that came up to absolutely nothing actually came out to a full hold. Is what it came out to, thanks to some creative Bastion gameplay as well.
So Hanamura is our next map.
Hanamura, in my opinion, one of the more bearable 2CP maps. Then again, Lee, I'm gonna tell you secretly, okay?
Okay. Just me or
just you?
Okay.
Just you. So chat, cover your ears. I like 2CP. I don't think it's that bad.
I like TCP myself.
Thank you. I don't think there's any harm in a game mode that requires some chess and some coordination. Like, yeah, it's really frustrating, but like, hey man, just play it. Just win. Just talk to your boys and figure it out. If it's frustrating to you, it's frustrating for the enemy team as well, and that's the point. I think that, and like, as long as that fairness and that equity exists, like I said, perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yeah, Reflex, I know. Hey, Reflex, whoa, chill. Whoa. Lee, I think we're gonna have some. There's some stream team and staff members here in this league that are going to have some very stern words with us after what we just said on air. We might be in a little bit of trouble now.
Let's be clear though, I don't like Paris or Horizon for 2CP.
Yeah, well, nobody does, so fair enough.
Also, is it time for word of the day?
Oh my goodness, Lee. The producer has informed me that it is indeed time for word of the day presented by the Overwatch Oasis League, and that the word of the day today is Fustian. Fustian. It is not pronounced Fustian. It's pronounced Fustian, and it is a noun. It is something of a strong cotton and linen fabric. It is a class of cotton fabrics, usually having a pile face and a twill weave, and it is high flow or could be a high flown or affected writing or speech. So anything that's very up there and having a very rambunctious style, it could be described as could be classified as Fustian. But mostly just the fabric, I believe, is how it's used most. But that is the word of the day presented by the Overwatch Oasis League. Fustian, Fustian, Fustian. Thank you, Lee. Good call.
No worries. Chat would be very disappointed if Charles Tang never gave them the word of the day on stream.
Chad is already disappointed in us for saying we like 2CP. I think we got to work really hard to earn them back here.
Exactly.
Dylan, not sure why they swapped off the double bird when they were playing against a Junk and Reaper. Yeah, I know, dog. Listen, Dylan, everything you're saying, I'm hearing and I'm feeling. They had no hit scan to deal with, so they were like, alright, let's switch off the Pharah and Echo. I'm equally confused, so it is what it is. Reflex, I'll send you. Listen, we'll make something work here. We're catching a lot of heat. As I believe we have some lineups coming out. Just let me double check very briefly.
Not yet. We do have a map and an attack and a defense.
Alright, that is a start. My inside sources telling me Kron is going to be subbed out for this map, so that's all the inside info I can tell you. Inside sources and leaks have confirmed that Kron Goblin is going to sit this one out. Once again, chat, if you're just joining us, this is the Tier 3 quarterfinals here in the Overwatch Oasis League as Prodigy Noobs take on Cosmic Omnics. The series is tied up 1-1. Both these teams having some very high points and some not so high low points. They took turns spilling their spaghetti. Neither team spilled their spaghetti at the same time, which I guess is, I don't know if that's good actually. But yeah, neither team's spilling the spaghetti at the same time, so we're now balanced here at a 1-1 stalemate. This is a first to 3 series, and winner will push on to the semifinals.
Yep.
Alright, and it looks like it's going to be Mexi and Sleep on the tank line. Ares and Sky Zord, new signing Sky Zord is going to come play DPS, and Cloud and KDB on that support lineup. Okay, looks like it's going to be maybe some sim strats here. Not sure if that's going to be communicated by the sim, but if someone calls out those TPs, sim strats are viable on Hanamura. As Prodigy Noobs are just going to shake this up a little bit. We do have a full lobby though, so bear with us as Lee struggles with the with some of the worst UI design in any game that I've played.
So we have just Sky and Sleep Shake coming in. Got AJ coming in. And same support line.
Okay, my inside sources have completely lied to me and sent me for Glizzy. Looks like Disco and Kron are going to remain in the support lineup. Speaking of chat, I recently learned something new in my life, and I just wanted to hear everybody's thoughts. Chat, when you hear the term Glizzy, what do you think? What do you think that is? Lee, this might be too American a conversation for you, but what do you think when you hear the term Glizzy?
And what the hell does that mean?
Okay, fair enough. I always thought it was referring to a hot dog, right? Like you're with your boys. It was like, hey, anybody want to get Glizzy? I'm like, yo, dog, I would kill for a Glizzy. And then you go and you guzzle some Glizzies, right? Right, just me and the boys, just a couple Glizzy guzzlers out on the town guzzling some Glizzies. But turns out, it's also code for Glock. I'm gonna pull up on you with my Glizzy. Like, it's a gun as well, and I had no idea. Both are true and both are real. So you could, I guess you could guzzle both of them. So, yeah, Glizzy Guzzler has now taken on a whole new meaning in my vocabulary. But, that should have been word of the day, Lee. I went with the dictionaries one, like some schmuck, when Glizzy could have been word of the day.
Like some schmuck.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh my goodness. That's
It's a very British word, that is.
On stream
Schmuck.
today. Is schmuck a British word?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought schmuck was like old Jewish people would call you a schmuck.
It could be, but like it's very British as well. Like I rarely hear any Americans say schmuck.
I mean, I'll steal some British vocab. When I get upset, I'll call people absolute weapons on the train. Hey boss, if you want to be on stream, apply for Stream Team. Welcome to the Overwatch Oasis League. Hit the app and see if you can join us. We recently welcomed Pog and Korean to Stream Team, so welcome to those newest members. Korean just had his debut very recently.
With us.
And in my humble opinion, did a fine job. Big fan of Korean. Not his gameplay. I think Korean's a very washed player that is bad at Overwatch, but big fan of his commentary, big fan of his TOEFL studying, big fan of his outfits, big fan of his canal. What did I do, chat? Did I say something? Yes, I'm just confused. I got no brain cells on what's going on. Alright, so it looks like we're waiting for some, oh, okay, so we do have the voice ready, us coming through. And it just looks
ready.
like both teams are happy to use the 12 minutes lead.
Yeah.
Traveling to Hanamura. Initiating match.
So what do you expect to see here, Charles? Junkrat?
I expect to see let me put my thinking hat on. I think that we're going to see two teams participate in a 2016 team-based multiplayer first-person shooter developed and published by Blizzard Activision. It is described as a hero shooter. Overwatch assigns players into two teams of 6, with each player selecting from a large roster of characters known as heroes, Lee. That's what I think is going to happen. Jokes aside, though.
I'm glad I asked you that question.
Yeah, the Wikipedia page for Overwatch aside, though, we are seeing a brawly double barrier come out. Tenshi is going to sneak forward for a quick fire strike. Exactly, like you said, it's 2 TP. The Junkrat is going to come out. You're playing Skysword. You're definitely going to see the Symmetra come out. Not quite sure. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what they're known for, and I believe that's all I've seen them play. And along with the Mei, this TP strike could be absolutely brutal, but. If you've done any scouting, you know that if Zord's in the game, you're going to see the Symmetra. So hopefully, KO are going to be able to spot that out and to retreat quickly. Alright, early TP onto point. Anime is going to be the first one down. Nobody's looking at the turrets. Nobody's looking at the sim. And Kron goes for a very risky res. And it does not pay off. A very, very quick take here on the side of noobs. Hey Dylan, I was merely talking about a vocabulary word. That is just a word that has multiple meanings that I enjoy. And now we see noobs switching over onto this left side. No real answer here, Lee, and they're just gonna run straight at them. Kosmic KO are completely caught out here. Kitty isolated just in the middle of nowhere. By herself without any support there. The Shatters can come down finding 3. Oh my goodness. KO set up on the high ground and just had their ankles completely broken there. To call back to an earlier vocab turn, sent for an absolute glizzy. They had no idea where to look there. Kitty alone, poor Kitty on coast by herself. Trying desperately to deal with that TP. The pin is going to come through, take out Cloud, so the stall potential ends there, especially after a really good res from Kron, but 2 ticks already given up here, as Prodigy and Noobs doing very well for themselves. Even if the fight wins here, they could be so very happy of the progress that they have made. Now, Skysword is now going to commit the wall as well into what looks like a lost fight, but the spawns are now coming through on the side of KO to round this out. Yeah, not sure if that photon barrier was the best thing to whip out there. That's going to be worth a VOD review if they do that kind of thing in the Zord household. And yeah, it looked a little brutal for a bit there, Lee.
It looked like there was going to steamroll, to be honest. It'd be interesting to see what direction they'll take coming in there.
Yeah, no, I agree, chat. I thought we were gonna see a speed on him. We might see one yet. They have Zord on the team. That's a Symmetra player. Prep for the Sim TP. KO, please, just think. Not the point. I'm gonna stop mauling. The bubble does come out, but Tenshi does not stay alive. That gets bursted down so quickly. That Symmetra is fully charged here. Just Kron desperately trying to fade away into oblivion and is sent back to spawn as well. They have been speed run. We're 3 minutes off the fighting number on the time bank. Lee, if you know they have a sim player, prep for a sim player. What are you doing? Are you serious? It's like if you play in the Overwatch League and then you see Fleta come out and then you don't think, oh, an Echo player. You see Ons in the lobby and you're like, oh, maybe they won't play Widow today. You say something, I'm gonna be angry.
What I will say, Charles, is I've never seen that TP spot before.
Really?
Never seen it from here down to the point. Never seen that before.
I mean, at this point, the game's been out for a decade and a half. If you're in scrims, if you're playing against sim teams, you know that this is going to happen. There's a sim player. Just prep for it. I don't understand. You know it's gonna happen, and every time it happens, your ankles get broken. On the bright side, we get to watch some Bastion Pharah in play here with the double barrier. We have Anime on the Sombra. We know that they're able to get some crazy hacks, and Anime probably one of the best Sombra, if not the best Sombra in the league. I think Rav could give them a good run for their money, but Anime definitely a top tier Sombra player as well. It's going to be absolutely crucial into stopping little Aries from absolutely farming these kids. So Ares setting up in this top window with no shield but plenty of natural cover. And now, okay, KO with a very good rotation is going to run at them and forcing them off the high ground. Alright, looks like Skies are just kind of free-firing onto that backline here. Nobody really checking. And now, oh no, Disco locked in a small room with a farmers. He is not a good place to be, and it looks like this KO attack might start to fall apart. And we have the barrage online already.
You have my thanks.
Lee, a pretty rough start to the attack here on KO's side, especially as Crossfire gets picked off here.
Yeah, they needed to really take that first fight to kind of build themselves a good time on the second, if they were able to get to second.
Alright, just waiting for Crossfire to come back here. Crossfire coming out. Oh, okay, little Ares does get hacked up, so that's, yep, okay, that's a speed boost coming out from Kron, getting everybody into position to brawl here. The window and tank mode is committed here, as is the barrage. A lot of ultimates being pulled out here, and Zord, oh no, with the barrage interrupted by a couple of headshots coming out from Crossfire. Really good work from the McCree there, as that's just hardcore DPS. If Crossfire took out Ares and Zord there, but the resurrection is there, so the threat of the Far is still well and alive, and KO are forced to respect that, as Anime is, oh, no, they're not. No, forget what I said. What do I know? Anime now has the EMP online as well. This could be it for KO. EMP committed, catching 4. That is absolutely enormous. This bomb goes rendered useless. Shatter is going to come out just to fortify them, to block as much of that as possible. As, oh, very good resurrection coming out. Mexi back in the fight, so the main tank is still available. Little Ares is going to get hacked up here. Anime, such a pest in that backline. And Crossfire now taking the duel against Zord, who is going to win out against that hit scan. As the window is going to be committed here on the side of Disco. Might be too little too late. I really don't know how I feel about that investment there. That's a key ultimate you're no longer going to have for the next fight, as KO are sent packing yet again after what looked a very, very promising attack.
A bit of tactical crouching going on by Sky Zord.
Phoenix, as we've established, it is not called the Glock, it is called a Glizzy. So please respect our word of the day submissions. And now it looks like a Roadhog is going to come out. Tenchi playing Hog against all this spam with no shield. Could make themselves not just a bit of an ult battery, but a whole ass generator there. But KDB is going to get caught out there. Very, very smart bomb coming out here is going to get blocked by a very, very good Proton Barrier by Ares here. He gets chunked down so low. Very, very well placed Immortality Field there. Crossfire once again is going to interrupt Sky Zord. Mid ultimate, the EMP comes out finding 4 here, as Tenchi is going to take down Sleep Shake. A lot of tank brawl is going to be gone here, as Mexi chunked down so low. Someone look at the Arisa, please. The shield dancing is phenomenal, but not enough. KDB now back on the Lucio is going to get hacked up. Someone look at the turret, please, as well. KDB is going to get taken, and finally KO, when it all looked lost, are able to clutch this out.
I did look like they was going to struggle for a moment there.
Yeah, that looked a little bit difficult, and like chat's pointing out, the immortality fields might be coming a little bit early from Disco. Keep in mind that's, that's a crucial cooldown that to not have for a whole fight there. So that's not something that's not really something you want to spam out as much as you want, like with the healing field. And Kitty with a very aggressive dive here. It is just going to be promptly deleted there. But forcing out the Flux, forcing out a whole bunch of ultimates here, as it looks like none were invested on the side of Cosmic Omnics. That's not bad at all. You get out both the tank ults. Either one of those could have been an easy fight winner. So very, very good dry push here coming out from Cosmic Omnics, chucking sandpaper at the solution. And not accidentally investing anything that they could have kept for a later fight.
Yeah, not a really good dry push there from Cosmic.
So now we see Skyzord now over onto that Ashe. KDB is going to get hooked. The kill confirm is not going to come through, but Sky now left in the middle of no man's land, and I don't believe had Coach Gun or on cooldown or just was too slow on the L1 trigger. Who knows when it can be? What we do know is that that is Skyzord out of commission here on their debut for Prodigy Noobs. Now, Tenchi here with the whole hog taking over this high ground, promptly dropping over to try to duel Mexi, who has a shield and an early immortality field up. That's another crucial cooldown unavailable for Cloud. Now Crossfire punching straight into a fortified Orisa is going to be a bit of a rough time here. Kitty with a very good bomb and Crossfire! Oh! Oh my god. Crossfire with a triple kill on the Meteor Strike. That's absolutely ridiculous. As we saw the Reaper ult come out, that Blossom forced Prodigy Noobs to take cover in their own spawn, and Crossfire was able to cut them out so very well. So intelligent. What a good push coming out from Cosmic Omnics, making up for past sins committed on point A and on their defense runs.
Crossfire's doofus there was really good.
Yeah, Crossfire getting a lot of work done in, and just, I don't think Noobs were ready to see that coming, and I think all of that started with a good engage onto the Ashe and the Mercy here. I believe that's KDB and Skyzord, and I mean, as the Mercy, you just go where the hit scan goes. And Zord, I just, a bit of a questionable decision setting up on this right side by yourself, knowing that they have a Diva able to dive you and a Sombra able to hack you. And that's exactly what happened. It's like I said earlier, if you know that there's a Symmetra, you prefer Symmetra. If you know that there's a Sombra, it just seems like you're not in, you're not in voice if you're gonna set up and position like that off by yourself in a very hackable and diveable position. And losing that Ashe early on, is good. It helped KO take over that high ground and then be able to take that low ground and eventually take the point. But of course, lots of crossover to Crossfire on that Doomfist as well, Lee.
Yeah. So if you was on Cosmic Omnics now, how would you approach this?
If I was Cosmic Omnics, I would not play this composition. I'm sorry if that's rude. And Zord being forced off the signature, as Ares has been deemed the superior Symmetra. No TP. I mean, the TP to respawn is going to be absolutely crucial, given how short these fights are. This tank line is going to struggle to get past all the spam.
30 seconds remaining.
Alright, KO are going to now rotate over onto this high ground. Just a little bit split as they're just going in opposite directions. Your Kitty eventually able to get to safety. KO now on this balcony, dropping down very aggressively like you would if you're playing Reinhardt, but you're playing a overweight Australian for the time being. Anime is going to get taken out nice and early on. Tenchi taking this flank angle, forcing out the Fortify, but just giving a lot of ult charge over onto the enemy team as well. KO are able to just juggle the point briefly, but things are looking on the up and up for Prodigy Noobs as they little Ares, oh my goodness, establishing Symmetra dominance. The best Symmetra in the lobby has arrived with a triple kill there. My goodness, what a display, as it looks like round 3 is complete. Cosmic Omnics now, the best they can hope for is a draw.
Initiating match.
Lee, how do you feel about the Hog Zarya attack?
Yeah, I was with you on that one. I don't think Hog would have worked. Like, if they had more time, maybe, like the first push, so they could build up ults and stuff. But it was they only had like a minute or so, so they didn't really have time to build ults. So in my opinion, I'd have just gone in brawl.
I mean, I assume they were prepping for a Bastion, but if you see no I don't know. Like a Hog Zarya, in my opinion, isn't a good Bastion counter, anyways. So, it was always going to be a struggle to get me on board with this composition, and now KO find themselves with their backs against the wall. If they set up themselves up for a draw, then we basically mulligan that map and we continue to push on 1-1. So more entertainment, more map, and more casting for us, and a longer time before I get to eat my first meal of the day. But just a bit of a rough lineup there, and it looks like, yep, another TP strat is going to come out. It looks like Ares playing the sim on that defense. Skyzord hoping, having learned a thing or two, now running it on the attack yet again. And now KO answering with their own Bastion could be crucial here with that burst damage to mow everybody down. Really good wall coming out here, and oh no, KO are not... if you have a Bastion, you have to position in a way that enables the Bastion. And a lot of the tank line just pushing past the Bell in a scenario where the Bastion was not able to provide them with cover fire. And now, okay, learning their lesson, playing around the Bell a little more intelligently now. I think they were thrown off by how the TP came in. Crossfire just completely uncontested here. Someone's got to look at him. The DPS lineup here of Prodigy Noobs just looking the other way. But very crucially, Zord is not that far off from a photon barrier, and if that triangle R2 mechanics combo is able to be pulled off here, Crossfire is going to have a lot of trouble laying that damage in.
You gotta give props to AJ, because he was putting a lot of work in, getting a lot of the kills.
Alright, we're coming over onto this left side now as the Bastion set up on the balcony, it looks like. And okay, KO, do that instead. Just ult dump and have anime pop off. That's also fine. I say ult dump. It was one. There were a lot of explosions, so it looked like a lot. But KO have set themselves up for an enormous ultimate bank here.
Like, if you are Prodigy Noobs, how would you like beat this comp?
Hey, listen, I'm the play-by-play guy. I don't have a big enough brain to do any analysis. That's up to you, Lee. But we do have another early TP coming out here. Crossfire is just going to sit and take some of the damage for relocating to the back of the point. Tag mode is going to come out, but you're going to eat a rock and then eat a shatter. Crossfire is not going to be long for this world. Ay, ay, ay. Oh no, Flux coming out here could be a little too late on the side of Red Hood Kitty. And it looks like Noobs are going to really clean this up and take the lead 2-1 here in the Overwatch Oasis League. And Katie with the BM shatter as BM beat as well. Lee, it looks good, and then it didn't for KO.
Play of the game.
Really big play by Anime there, and in a perfect world where we live in a meritocracy, I feel like that deserved to buy KO at least a fighting chance to secure the draw, but nice and easy. The photon barrier was the game changer there.
Yeah. Can we just talk about Little Ares' May play as well? Because they were walling off the Bastion, and then in situations there was walling off other players, so they would get killed like really quickly. Like their walls are on point, their ice walls. Or do you not agree?
Yeah, no, I think good May play is so valuable, especially at this level, and props to them to be able to capitalize on that. Now, of course, here we have all this downtime where we wait for the map picks and the swaps to come through. Chat, I would love to hear your thoughts. Nation's joining us, so if anybody wants to recap Nation on all the spaghetti we have spilled, all the vocab we have learned today, feel free to be my guest. Lee, if you want to catch us all up, that'd be wonderful as well. I'm gonna be honest, my vocal cords need a break, so I'm gonna drink some water and eat and have a lozenge before map 3. Or map 4? Map 4, so sorry.
Yeah, we've had 3 really good maps. Prodigy Noobs looking very dominant in the first map, KO looking extremely dominant in the second map, and then again Prodigy Noobs looking dominant in the third map. Bye Nation.
GG's Nation heard me open my mouth and just walked right back out.
How do you feel this game's going to go? Are we going to go to a map 5 just to spoil Charles's day, or are Prodigy noobs going to get this last map to make it a 3-1?
I mean, Dylan is absolutely right as well. Oh no, that's brutal, Dylan. Oh no.
I'm trying to rush the map pick, so because like the 12 minutes don't start until the map gets picked.
Is there a time limit to how long it takes before the map gets picked?
I don't think so. Like ideally there should be.
Yeah, Richard, tell me about it. Yes, you did, and I'm happy for you. Sometimes you get 12 minutes, and sometimes you get to use all 12 of those minutes. So, no worries. Mo Black, I'm right with you. Mo Black, listen, I assume you heard me mauled, because I was mauling very vocally. I not prepping and not positioning for a Symmetra there is a big, bit of a, it makes me flop a sad, if I'm being honest. My flopper ears are droopy, and my back is arched, and I'm not having a good time. This, yeah, I don't know how else I could describe it as other than like the Symmetrician play against the Sim. I don't know what, like, and then they when it set up on high ground, and Kitty was left guarding coast by herself. Rough times.
Watch points.
All right, we're now moving on to Watch Point Gibraltar. I'm going to be honest. I'm a little concerned by Watch Point, given that neither of these teams seem to be able to execute a dive. Chad, in case you missed it, a lot of both the times we saw dive here in this series, the Monkey Diva went in directly for the Reinhardt and the Orisa, which kind of is the exact opposite point of playing dive. But on a map that both teams are most likely going to be on dive, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Just give me 10 minutes while I change these teams over.
Oh no! Yeah, GG's Lee. I'm gonna take a nap. Just wake me up when you get back.
haven't yet seen Demo today. Or TYMK.
Yeah, Demo I believe is a recent pickup as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, Lee.
Yeah, recent pickup, yeah. We have Tenchi and Pork on tank. Cross and AJ.
Okay, so
Disco
Kitty
and
being
Chrome.
stubbed out. From my experience playing with Kitty, she is one of, if not the best ult tracker I've ever played with. She, like, usually you ult track, right? And you're like, okay, yeah, Zarya has Grav, and they probably have Blade, so let's save beat, right? That's a pretty standard ult tracking thing to do. Kitty will tell you down to the percentage point. So like, yeah, Zarya's beat. Genji's actually only 85% to Blade, so if you kill him fast, they won't be able to do it. And also, Zarya has had Grav for exactly 2.5 minutes now, so they're definitely going to use it this time because they feel like antsy. So we pressure, like, Kitty, I don't know how she does it. Maybe she stream snipes every single game that we've played, but she does this in league games, in playoffs, in scrims. She does it in comp games, in quick play, in mystery heroes. I don't know how she does it, but that's such a crucial part of having Kitty in the lineup. So I hope that Cosmic Omnics are going to be able to make up for the comms and the communications that she's able to bring to the table.
Interesting. We're going to see Sky Zord on tank. With Little Aries and Rusha. With Cloud and Tiny Shiny. Don't think I've ever seen Zord play, Sky Zord play tank.
Zord, I know, plays a lot of off-tank, comfortable on the Sigma and Diva. I believe they played Tier 3 last season a little bit before hitting Diamond. And then went on to play a little bit of Tier 2. I don't know if they're still a Tier 2 player, actually. I don't quite know what happened. But now they are eligible to play Tier 3. Like I said, the Diva is the Zord's signature. But the Sigma is not too shabby either.
Nice. See Rusha Rose here. You could probably see some Widow, maybe. Some Pharah. I don't think we'll see Pharah on this map.
Alright, still waiting for
We've got Redis from Prodigy.
Settled here. Listen, chat. Just
And we got
like I
Redis
said,
from the other side.
just because if you have just because you have the 12 minutes doesn't mean you have to use the 12 minutes. So let's. Oh, jeez, Louise Lee. I feel like a broken man right now. Watching some Tier 3 Overwatch, and and I'm waiting 12 minutes between each map. But we finally do jump into the point here. Like Richard said, I'm glad you're able to execute 5 maps in the time it took us to do 2.5. But welcome, my friend. I hope you have a good time. I'm sorry you missed the word of the day. We actually had 2 word of the days today. I'm not going to repeat it, because if you miss it, you miss it. Sorry. Alright, so looking at some comps here on the defensive end, it looks like a Rhine Diva is going to come out on the side of the noobs, alongside Ares and Rusha on the DPS line, Cloud and Tiny on the support lineup.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So it's 3:30 AM for me.
Yeah, it's 12:30 here, and it is what it is. Where are all the Americans? Hello? Stream team being carried by all the foreigners? Who let all these immigrants in here? What is happening? Well, actually, I'm no longer an immigrant since my visa expired and I got deported, so I guess I don't count anymore. My apologies, chat. Alright, so a very standard dive is going to come out on the side of Cosmic Omnics. Let's hope they dive the back line instead of the tank line this time. That Reaper of Little Ares is going to get a lot of work done here. Our early dive coming out here. Zord is going to chunk down to half, but half the Jets that get back to safety with little to no problems here. Anime missing the hack, just going for that spam damage on that backline, and is just going to get chased away. But Cosmic Omnics have secured themselves the high ground, and the cart's rolling through under car wash now. Ooh, Anime maybe a little bit aggressive here. It is going to be taken out. No Sombra in play. And Disco getting chunked down so very low in the backline as well. Tenshi is going to eat all that damage from those Reaper shotguns, and KO are forced to back up.
Should we get chat to make a prediction?
Chat's been very shy with the predictions so far.
I'm going to ask chat if they want to do a prediction on EMP bomb. Are we going to see it? And if so, how many kills will it get?
Alright, chat, for a grand prize of bragging rights, let me know how many kills this EMP bomb is going to find out. Hey, last time I casted KO, Kitty was consistently getting 3 to 4 picks with the EMP bomb, so I know it's Twisted Pork on the Diva this time, but the KO formula should still be the same and hopefully equally as effective.
Chaotic says 2.
Alright, team's just jostling for position, and again with the cart being on car wash, this is going to be tough. A lot of times you have to ask teams to completely forego the cart for a little bit just to win the fight and to get the positioning. The Nano is going to come out onto Tenshi, who has now switched over to the Reinhardt, but a very good counter shatter is going to come out. Zord with the bomb in that backline. Oh, Disco just not that good at a hide and seek player, and is going to get taken out as well despite crouching and hiding behind the cart.
Skyzord does get demeched.
The DMAC here is going to be brutal, but Skyzord already 50% of their way to the remech, so should be okay, should have that mech back in time for most of this fight, hopefully. It's a relatively quick charging ultimate as well, so if you whiff your shots, you should still have the mech back relatively soon. And we have Tiny Shiny completely uncontested on this high ground, and there we go. Twisted Pork finally chooses to push this back off the high ground, but Disco is just going to get taken down nice and early on. Ares getting punished for that aggression, but all that space created from Nexus to swing away. Noobs have committed the rally as well. Now bomb being dropped in, EMP coming out just in time. Both berries being taken out, and the Rhine Brig is duo is gonna be taken out together. At the very least, the noobs are dying in a way that fits with Overwatch lore and the animated shorts. Ruchiro is taking an anime lead. AJ is going to be huge here. Without those hacks, the stalk and last forever. Ares with the Blossom taking out 2 is going to be enormous, as Tenshi shield is only able to do so much. Skyzord with the bomb. Oh no, the shield was out of commission. Very well timed there as a double kill comes out from that Diva bomb. KO are going to struggle to get too much done with this OT push. Alright, Weeb hanging on for as long as they can is forced to back out. I don't think anybody else can touch, and it looks like a point A hole. It's going to be online here on the side of Prodigy Noobs.
That was a huge defense from Prodigy Noobs. Absolutely huge.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Chaotic, you get bragging rights for the weekend, or until the next match. For correctly guessing how many EMP bomb kills.
Yeah, nobody wins anything. Actually, no, Chaotic Phoenix did guess, sorry. That's fair. That's fair.
Boss saying Prodigy noobs are not playing with their food anymore.
That's what we thought on that's what we thought multiple times. And listen, boss, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. They're 2-1 up, so a win here is going to secure them a place in the semifinal. KO could be looking at the last couple minutes of their season. And I hope that the high stakes situation of this is going to kind of shake some life into KO, and that they're going to bring some heat here and try to match this full hold.
It's still very holdable though.
It is holdable. It's definitely doable. Rusha on the Widow is looking to get lots of work done, and okay, so a very class standard dive is going to be executed here. I believe a complete mirror of what KO ran on their attack. And speaking of KO, the Ryan Zarya holding the high ground with the Mercy pocketing the McCree. Not quite what I expected. Very good interrupt on Ares' hack there for 3 times in a row. That Sama not getting any value except for to kind of pump Crossfire full of ult charge, but now the card has moved its way down onto that low ground. Enemy Weave AJ being taken out could be absolutely enormous. Tenshi being bionated. Oh no, Disco wasn't there, or sorry, Disco was there with the Immortality field, but that just got destroyed. Kron being taken on the Mercy is going to be tough as well. Twisted Fork desperately trying to get out. This looks like a bit of a slaughter. The Deadeye is going to be interrupted as well, and Disco is going to get cut down. Things are looking pretty rough. The cart is going to roll in. The touch comes out from Anime. Sky is just standing still, AFK on the cart. And it's just going to slowly roll through. Twisted Fork is going to get hacked up here instead. The spawn advantage isn't awful here. KO could get some work done if Crossfire can touch, but they cannot. Prodigy News have taken the series 3-1. They are now in your semifinals, and unfortunately, that matches the ending. That means that KO season has ended here. Their Tier 3 Season 5 adventures come to a close.
Nerf this! No!
All right, let's see some nominations. Let's see some interviews. Let's see who is down to put their face on camera. Chat. What are we thinking? Thank you, Hungo. Good edit score. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, listen, it was a bit, I mean, listen, both these teams were snorting some Skittles, but little Ares, looked pretty solid on DPS there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, little Ares played extremely well tonight. Probably the best I've ever seen him play, to be honest. Like, his Sim, if he was on Sim, his May, like, even his Sombra. The Echo, to be fair, on Blizzard World, as much as it was a bit of a runaway from Cosmic Omnics, like, they were still doing a lot on the Echo.
Yeah, I'm down to select that one and make that work. And what else? I mean, I'm gonna need these nominations to inform a lot of this. And also, as the play-by-play guy, my brain power is not focused on remembering anything, so I'm gonna need you to be helpful here, Lee.
No, that's perfectly fine. So, tank-wise, I think Zoomsbury done very, very well when Zoomsbury played in the first 2 maps. I noticed a lot of good bubbles, like defensive bubbles. Like, Cloud Lemon was taking a 1v1 against a Junkrat on the left hand side, and Zooms managed to get a bubble on him. Mexi, like I play with Mexi on tier 2, and Mexi is a really, really good main tank player. Like, he can play the Winston, he can play the Rhine, he can play the Wrecking Ball. But Red Hood Kitty, they played extremely well on tank today as well.
Kitty did have a very big day. I mean, her off tank's one of the best in tier 3, so
and also
she always ends up with a good display.
I don't think we're going to have interviews tonight because Kitty's gone.
Everybody's just booked it looks like. Well, yeah, no worries. We can get straight into the MVP chat as a Mexi and Cloud are going to get the nominations. I'm feeling Mexi as well. I think Mexi had a really good game, was able to flex onto the different styles, and I think Cloud was consistent as always, playing flexing across a lot of support heroes. A signature Batista, of course, but playing a very solid Lucio. So I'm happy. I'm happy with those picks. But Lee, I think ultimately it's going to be up to you.
Up to me. Well, we're going to see what the other teams, like what the teams give at noobs, because obviously they're in the game, they're in the moment, they're realising who's causing each other problems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So they said Mexi and Cloud. Just waiting on. So Cosmic Omnics said Mexi or Cloud for MVPs. Just waiting on
Prodigy noobs to bless us with their presence as Crossfire and Disco. I think Crossfire did get a lot of work done. I like that. I like that one a lot.
Like
Disco also had a good series, but I think I think a lot of times I wasn't too sure on the immortality field usage.
Yeah, I think Clouds was a better immortality field usage than Disco. They're quite neck and neck because Disco did really well with his heals and stuff. But I think Cloud's immortality usage was just slightly better.
All right. So are we thinking Mexi, Ares, and Cloud then? Is that what we're gonna end up settling on?
Mexi, Cloud, and Ares. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
all right, works for me.
If we can do an honourable mention as well to Crossfire, because I thought he did a lot of work for Cosmics.
Fair enough. All right, there you have it, chat. Oh my goodness, my mic sounded so funny there. I don't know if it's weird for. I don't know, it sounded weird to you, Lee.
No, it didn't sound weird to me.
Okay, cool. I have my audio played back to me so I can hear myself, and that must have been on my end. But anyways, there you have it, chat. The series has ended as Prodigy noobs take the win 3-1 against Cosmic Omnics to book themselves a spot in the semifinal. Unfortunately, that means that is the end of the season to KO. They will no longer be participating for the rest of Season 5 as Prodigy noobs move on to the semifinal. Your MVPs for the evening are Mexi on tank, Ares on DPS, and Cloud Lemon on the support lineup. My name is Charles, joined by Lee today in our crazy time zones. And yeah, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, good night. We'll see you again.
Bye.